had been kind of taken off the table, but I wanted to put up those, that was one additional item that was considered as part of what changes could we make to put additional funding into the schools. Yes, Mrs. Bailey.
You know, at the risk of going on one, I'd like to propose that that be put back on the table. It's certainly, I think, preferable to people losing their jobs to increasing their co-pays, and it gets us on the road with employees to understand that to make town operations affordable and sustainable, a different way of doing business when coming with health insurance is going to be necessary. I understand it's subject to union approval, but certainly as a citizen, and I hope as an employee and a union member, it's preferable to looking left, looking right, and watching someone lose their job. And it also affects the teachers' union too. They'd have to accept it, so it would affect, you know, ultimately what flowed through to the school budget. So I think it's a very fair proposal.
Town administrators stepped out of the building, out of the room for a
Still
minute.
The previous slide of the most recent cuts came up today. The finance committee was only seeing these this evening. We've not had a chance to get them out or to discuss it more. And when we started to try and vote the individual components of it, there was some question about whether or not there would in fact be changes right here at your meeting with some of the items. So we do have a meeting posted for tomorrow night, and we will meet tomorrow night to discuss what is the then current items, but we will not vote tonight.
Okay, fine. Understood.
We looked at this and we rejected this. Why do we have to revisit it again? To me, we'll never get through anything. We're going to revisit everything we rejected.
The only thing we're revisiting is the insurance copay.
That's what we specifically rejected. I think. So I'm not speaking for the whole board, but speaking for myself.
I think that there seems to be some concern about laying off employees. This is a source of potentially $300,000. It has mentioned the potential impact of trying to do this. It's something that has to be approved by our labor union. As a result, it's not something that we can count on. Greg, I had mentioned, you had walked out of the room, and I had mentioned that you had concerns about doing it. You might want to bring those up, just so that...
I mentioned to the board a week ago when this subject was brought up my concerns, and they relate to the fact that under Chapter 32B, which is the legislation that governs health insurance for municipal employees, the town has a legal obligation to negotiate changes in its health insurance plan with its employees. And that would include changes in deductibles and co-payments, which on a private sector level seem kind of absurd, but they're reality in the municipal business. So cutting $300,000 in advance of engaging in some type of good faith, open negotiations, I suggest it would be premature. And coupled with the fact that the town desires a change to the Group Insurance Commission and plans on opening negotiations with employees on March 25th, my comment to the board is I think that would chill those negotiations and would reduce the likelihood that we would be able to achieve greater savings in the long term through implementation of the Group Insurance Commission program.
Okay, Marcy, can you get back to the other slide now? I think we left it up, so it's not out from over there.
I think I did something bad. Like you should everything. I do.
All right, I'll
Sorry.
No, that's the last one.
no, that's well.
Microsoft Profit.
This one?
Yep.
No, just close it. I thought it was. I didn't.
Closed it.
Okay. It's not this. What happened was I started. I had it in some part of it to a week. I haven't bothered. Steve, Bill, the chip is up. So I believe we have a motion from Steve on the floor. And at this point, I'll take a vote. All in favor?
I don't know what the motion is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the motion?
The motion is to, under the other services cuts, to consider the total amount of $274,000 broken down as follows: recreation $50,000, library 0, treasurer's office 25, CPC office 25, town clerk's office 41, DPW 33, HR 0, police 100,000.
Total?
Total
Any
274,000.
discussion?
Yes, sure.
You know, it's my feeling that most of these cuts are relatively short-sighted. And the reason is I think that they end up affecting the same people. To me, cutting, when you talk about making these particular cuts, you cut recreation, you're affecting the same people that we're trying to help, okay? And, you know, to add a teacher and then cut recreation program, I don't see that as a win-win, okay? I don't see that as a win-win. I see that's a lose-lose, okay? Same thing, library, all of these places, most of these places serve the same people.
Library, you're talking about the library 0.
The libraries, but I'm talking about this as in general. When you talk about cutting the police, what seems to me is that you're going to end up hurting the schools by cutting the police. And the way you're going to hurt the schools is that the police do a great deal of school programs, a great deal of drug work. You're hurting all of that, okay? To me, all right, I can't see laying off people in order to hire people. I don't think I get that, all right? So, especially when it's all related. So I'd be interested and be willing to support leaning the $85,000 to support level 1, finish supporting level 1. But beyond the $85,000, unless it's going to add something specific, just to get $200,000, just to get $200,000, I can't see. To add the 85, because that's what we needed to complete, that I might consider. But cutting this stuff here is, like I say, short-sighted. You have to remember the ratios. You have to remember that 70% of these departments were devastated. Most of these departments. If I make this sense.
Just to make sure you know, 33,000 is parts also, the DPW, that's parts.
That's contract.
That's parts.
Essentially closed That's out of
Well,
those
we're gonna-
funds,
yeah,
that's
we're gonna do it
that's
down.
all up.
Yeah.
And then they've already taken $50,000 from recreating this program.
No, I want the board is to take a vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult to go through the menu and I threw it out there, that's fine, but I just wanted to get a sense of where the board is. Are we willing to make some cuts of positions in order to help rebuild the school system? And then in order to move forward with an override that is a town-wide override. Are we willing to do that? I don't know what the arguments are. I mean, everything we've heard tonight from the department heads, from Mr. Dardino, are compelling arguments to support the override so that these things don't get implemented and don't happen. But if they do happen, this is, if the town doesn't vote for it, this is what's going to happen. Recreation's going to be devastated. The impact on the police department is untenable. We shouldn't be talking about these things, but we have to. So is the board willing to take a position? We're going to make the public take a position in choosing our prioritization of things, and to what degree? I mean, that's the purpose of my motion. I mean, I could have done the whole $495,000, but, so are we willing to cut positions or are we not?
Steve, would we get a more, would we get fairer discussion on the board if we went down one item at a time?
Whatever the chair can divide the motion, any way he chooses.
Thank you, Steve. At this point, then, I'm going to take my responsibility as the chair, and I'd like to divide it by discussing each line item. And that will give everyone an opportunity. So, in the recreation, it was $50,000. In other words, you would move an additional $50,000 to the revolving fund. Bill, you were the one that asked
I'm sorry, what, on recreation?
on recreation.
I wouldn't be in favor of cutting another dollar. We've already cut $45,000, right? As I say, I think it supports, I think it's the same identical people, same people. It's all young families, school-age kids. I can't see cutting that.
No, I'm not in favor of cutting recreation.
I understand we have to find the money somewhere, but I don't know. I'm actually on a similar page with Mr. O'Leary, strangely enough. I think the highest I would go would be about $25. I mean, it's unfathomable to have to cut this stuff. But I mean, and I would be supportive of an override to cover everything that we even decided to cut, and even to go to the third tier on the school department's pyramid there.
I think it's a general understanding of the board that whatever funds would come in a non-override budget to supplement the school budget, the difference would still be an override budget. Okay, so the intent of the board, I don't think anyone's against that, is to fully fund the school request by virtue of moving funds
What I'm
to the
saying,
standard budget or cover it, the difference in an override.
well, what I'm saying is, I would actually support it.
Okay. And I know your position on this one, Steve. so-
Yeah, no, and I think part of the issue that we're facing here is that how much are we willing to give up on the general government side in order to support a non-override budget in restoring the school cuts? And that's really what we're talking about. Dollar amount we're willing to step forward from the non-override. And then, if you just want to vote a bottom line as to how much more, if any more, do we want to assist in restoring a non-override budget request on the school department side?
Well,
I'll
as
be
Phil,
glad to-
as Phil said, we need to find, just to get to priority one, we need to find another 80,000.
Right.
Above and beyond what we
Yeah,
voted on.
82,000.
So,
spread these cuts out over the whole spectrum of things. In order to create a need for the entire town to go for the override. But if you concentrate people at one area, you don't get that broad and support. So my question has to be necessary to create that broad need in order to cross the vote. Nobody likes to get into anything. But if it's done in such a way so it's made universal itself, we get the vote.
I have to comment on this, because I've heard this over and over. I have to comment what I've said to people. Now listen to me, please, okay? It is unethical. It is unethical to make cuts that are designed to encourage people to vote for an override. You have to make cuts that are appropriate for the budget. To make cuts that merely spread the pain so people will vote, that is nothing short of unethical in my view. Now the budget needs to be what's best for the town. And when people vote for an override is what you people have to sell to other people. But to make cuts just merely so that people will support an override, listen to yourself. That is unethical, in my judgment. That's my opinion.
the board is going to, I'm going to take the board and continue through this until we complete it. Then we'll make formal, I'll open it up for some input based on where we are. But